shows that they do not intend to ever relinquish power. GOP, Heritage Foundation, tech bros, they do not intend to relinquish power. They just canceled the elections in Miami. They were 5 months away. They just moved them to 2026. The amount of power that the executive has now, a Democrat could come in and day one, ban guns. They could give citizenship to all undocumented. They could cancel student loans. They could set up universal health care without Congress. They would not be putting forward these insanely unpopular ideas like cutting Medicaid, cutting Social Security, selling public lands, if they intended to allow any more free and fair elections. Here's some examples of what could be done via executive order. They could order that we are a Christian nation and all other religions are outlawed. They could declare that it is illegal to say fuck Donald Trump. He could write an order that says pregnant women must wear GPS monitors. And yesterday, those orders would have been struck down immediately by nationwide injunctions. But after today's Supreme Court ruling, lower courts can't do that anymore. Right now, it is unclear whether a circuit court could issue an order for that entire district or only rule for the litigants named in there. That would be worst case scenarios, that if you're not part of the lawsuit, that you would not be protected. But even best case scenario right now, if the judge can apply an injunction to the entire district, that would mean people living under circuit courts and districts with Trump judges would be at the whim of these crazy orders. And only people that lived in places that had non-biased judges would be able to have relief from these crazy unconstitutional executive orders. And that is the best case scenario right now. But like worst case scenario, he bans guns by executive order, and each individual citizen would have to fight in court and overturn this unconstitutional decision for themselves, or as part of like a group class action. In that scenario, the courts would grind to a halt. Meanwhile, the executive branch, ICE, ATF, LAPD, and all these other corrupt cops would go around enforcing this unconstitutional executive order, and you would have to wait for your turn in court before you got any sort of relief. I mean, this truly pushed us off the cliff towards a shooting hot civil war. Because if there is not a system of redress, if the courts can't help you get your rights back, and there isn't free and fair elections anymore, what other option do people have other than violent revolution? Or I guess you could always bury your head in the sand, pretend it's not happening, but that's it. Those are your two options. This is where we're at. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am, and I think you're being naive and willfully ignorant if you don't think that this is awful, awful, awful.